Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm your host, Nina Roberts, and today we have an incredible guest joining us. She's a powerhouse in the world of personal development and wellness, and I'm thrilled to introduce her to you. Our guest today is Amanda Weitman, the CEO of AW Coaching. Amanda is dedicated to helping you create your best life, and her passion for empowering others shines through in everything she does. As a PGI consultant, she brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise in personal growth, guiding her clients to unlock their full potential. That's not all. Amanda is also a certified personal trainer, combining her love for fitness with her commitment to holistic well-being. She's someone who truly walks the talk, balancing her professional life with being a proud mom to two amazing young women. So get ready to be inspired and motivated as we dive into Amanda's journey, her insights on personal development, and how you can start living your best life today. So welcome, Amanda. It's really lovely to have you here today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Nina. Thank you so much. It's really lovely.
So can you tell us more about how you ended up doing what you're doing today?
Yeah, I'd like to take you back to the beginning of my story. It all sort of happened really with me getting rather unwell, actually. I was sitting at work one day and I noticed I had a lump on my neck, and and that moved me into action where I've become quite unwell and I lost a lot of weight. And I remember one evening telling my husband at the time that I really needed to go to the hospital. So before I left that evening, I remember going into the room and looking at my children and saying to them, whatever we discover today, I'm going to fight this and I'm going to change our lives, because things needed to change at that point. Long story short, I went to the hospital and I was diagnosed with an overactive thyroid. So there was me thinking it was going to be really awful, but it wasn't. I went through all the treatment and became a lot better, and we made it underactive. So I just live with that condition now, and it's medicated. But the point to the story is it really gave me an opportunity to think about what I wanted and how my life really needed to change. And obviously, as you know, I've got these two absolutely amazing children. So they're like my big why in life. And with the progression of me getting better, I then got back into my fitness. So I joined the local boot camp, and I remember meeting my trainer for the first time, and he was like a military man. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh,
And he was like my first mentor, really, because it was fantastic. I went back to training and started to learn that mental strength again, focusing on goals, getting my body stronger and my mind stronger. And then I remember him saying to me once, it came to me today when I was thinking about this interview. I remember him saying to me, Amanda, you have so much potential with your fitness, but you're always holding yourself back. And I thought, that's really interesting, because now with my awareness, I know that was my programming. I would get to a certain level in my fitness and then I'd shy away from it, because we were like lifting heavy weights. And at one point, I was running up hills. They used to call this fitness thing steep. So we were like sprinting up hills.
mm-hmm.
And I knew that I could go quicker and I could go faster, but there was something stopping me. So I got really back into my fitness, and that started to bring a love of sort of coaching people. And I remember talking to my mentor then saying, I really am interested in training myself to be a personal trainer. But then as the journey went on, it started to make me think about things in my life. My relationship wasn't going well at all. And I also remember having another moment where I thought, the environment that we're living in, this is what my children are going to learn, and they're going to see that, it's not the way that I wanted to bring my children up. So I had to make a big decision, and I did end my marriage. And it wasn't the nicest of experiences. It was heartbreaking, and we had to sort of work through all the things that went with that. But when you look back, as you get to a certain level with learning personal development, you know that certain things have to happen so you move on in life. I do have my children full time, which is, you know, a dream for me because I absolutely love being a mum. And then I really wanted to start building my life. What does Amanda want? What dreams and aspirations do I have? Because your heart starts talking to you then.
Oh yeah.
And little things start ticking away in your mind. It will not leave you alone until you do something about it. And one evening at one of my boot camp sessions, a wonderful lady handed me the book, The Secret. And she said, I don't know why. I saw this book and I instantly thought of you. She said, you're open-minded. I thought you'd love to read it. And so I started to read it. And what I found was amazing. I know they talked about the law of attraction in the book, but it was more the element of love for me, because I love my children. No question about that. But I didn't love me. I didn't particularly think, you know, I was doing all this training. It was making me feel good. The mental strength was coming back. The focus on goals was coming back for me. But I still didn't feel like I liked myself very much. And then this led on to watching the film, and that wonderful man, Bob Proctor, came up, and he said the most amazing thing that touched my soul. He said, you want to be able to kiss your hand and love yourself. And I went, oh my God, I need to, you know, connect with this man. He knows exactly what I'm feeling inside. So as you do, you jump on YouTube that evening, watching the videos. What on earth is this man talking about? What are paradigms? What's the stick person? You know, I live as a program. What are you talking about? I'm just me. This is just what I do. I go to work every day, look after my children, I train. That's my life. And I'm like, this is amazing. I need to be a part of this. So as everybody says, you do the shelf help. I bought all of his books and watched his YouTube videos. But it really got me thinking about goals. What do I really want out of life? What would I love to do? And at that time, I'd left my corporate job and I was working part-time in a school because I really wanted to be there more for my children, because we were building a wonderful relationship together, having experiences, and it was everything I really wanted of a home life. Then I thought, what does Amanda want career-wise herself? So I know that I really love personal development and I really love fitness. I'm going to jump on, I'm going to press the button, I'm going to speak to somebody in America and I'm going to sign up and do a personal development course. So I rang up, I did it, I was absolutely terrified. And I spoke to Bill Banter at the time and he signed me up for the year-long program. So I jumped into that. And that's when I created my first goal, that I was going to build this personal training business in my garage, just off my house. And I was going to do that. And I also love the year-long program because it builds a foundation of all the different programs. You learn about self-image, the laws of the universe. And it's really comprehensive because it's a year long and you really get to understand it a lot better and understand the stick person, because that still baffled me for a while, because I was like, what does he mean? Create a picture, feelings, attitude, action. I still wasn't really understanding it. And then as the year progressed, it all started to sink in because I was taking it in, doing the auto-suggestion, which is difficult to begin with when you start to write out your paradigm change, because your mind starts going, what on earth are you doing that for? You're not going to stick to this, you know. And then the training of the fitness kicks in because I'm a focused person. I can do this. And the higher faculties didn't know anything about those, you know, your imagination, reason, the will. It was mind-blowing. So I set the goal, and that's what I was going to do, to create the personal training business. So off I went to start doing that. So I went back to college at the great age of 42 and started to train to be a personal trainer. Then lockdown hit. So that I found that as an opportunity, because I could work from home doing the school job, also doing my education for personal training and personal development, clearing out my garage outside, getting that all ready to be the PT studio. And it's so true that when you make that decision, and it's a committed decision, the help comes. So I had the specialized knowledge from learning about my mind. And then people would just turn up in your life. The best example I can give is that when we worked a little bit at home and in the school office, I thought I need somebody to help me plaster my garage.
Mm-hmm.
In walks this man called Paul that I haven't seen for ages. Got talking to him. I'm like, what are you doing now? He goes, well, I've decided to become a self-employed plasterer. And I went, you're just the person I want to see. So he came and he plastered the garage for me. And while I got everything else done, the paperwork and everything, and then I just put an ad in the local newspaper. And by the time we came out of lockdown on April the 12th, which I launched the business, I already had 5 clients ready to go. So I started to do the business. And then that progressed. And the goal was to earn the same income that I was earning in the school. But I was earning double that. So I took a leap of faith and I left the school and did the PT full time, which I absolutely loved. And then the year was up on the personal training, but not on the personal development. And I wanted to learn more. I was really hungry for it. I thought I'm going to build Love Life Fitness into an even bigger company. So I decided that I would go and be mentored by Kim Calvert in Ireland, because she was his #1 consultant. So I thought, this is interesting that I'm taking another turn on my journey. And that was where I was introduced to the Thinking into Results program, because I wasn't too sure at the time if I wanted to be a consultant or not. So I went and spent a year with her, and she was just amazing. I learned so much, and I didn't so much, I had the goal of building the business bigger. But I found like that year for me was really learning about what I really wanted. And she taught us this book here, The Power of Awareness. So we got really deep into this book as part of her mentorship. And it really started to get me thinking about the wish fulfilled. What would my wish fulfilled look like? What would the vision look like? Because the more I learned about the mental faculties and the stick person and how it worked with your attitude, the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions, I then started to get more into my imagination, which Neville Goddard really helps you with, to create that picture. So it got towards Christmas time. I took 2 weeks off and I thought, right, I'm going to get in, with all the things with the children, the excitement of Christmas. And this thought was just in my mind, what do you really want, Amanda? What do you really want? And I got out this great big piece of paper and got my powerful pen. And I just drew out exactly what I wanted for every single part of my life. And the coaching came up about becoming a coach, like a personal development coach. And then it was what experiences I wanted for myself and my family. And it also came up that I would really like to find a true love relationship, which I wasn't thinking about until it came up. And also another story. When I was at Ireland, I went to Kim's seminar that she does called Inception.
Mm-hmm.
That completely changed me in a weekend. The person I was that went there to who came back was just completely different. And one of my goals there was to meet Brian Proctor, because he was coming to do some talking and he was going to sign his book. So there was a little goal that I'd got for myself. And it got to the second day and I thought, well, I really wanted to meet him. So I asked this lady, will he be signing books? And she said later on in the day. And I thought, I don't want to wait that. And then just as I turned to my right, he was standing right beside me, Brian was. So I said, oh, hello, Brian. I said, my name's Amanda. Would you be kind enough to sign my book for me? And he was like, yeah. And we started talking and everything. And the most amazing thing is when he signed my book, I've got it here with me. I don't know if you can see that, but he put, to Amanda, live your best life, Brian. And
Beautiful.
I thought that's exactly what I have, helping you live your best life. And he would never have known that. And he shines, by the way. When you meet him, he just shines with love. He's just amazing. I had to rub his arm because he was just so cool. Sorry, I digress. There's a little story there for you. And then, so at Christmas time, I got thinking about what do I really want? And I kept thinking about, I really missed Bob. And my mentorship with Kim was coming to an end, but I learned so much in that year about me, about who I am and what I really wanted out of my life. And then I remember I went onto YouTube, and they do the 24 hours of Bob Proctor or something.
Yeah, the live streaming.
That's the one. And the PGI consultant advert came up, and I was like, well, this is divine timing. It's kind of telling me what I need to do next. So the next day I woke up in the morning and I filled out the form, and then I took the phone call, and then I signed up to do the program. So that's kind of my story digressed from beginning to now. Yeah.
Wonderful story. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much,
you.
Amanda, for sharing it. And we have so much in common because my story is quite similar to yours. At one point, we needed Bob, and at one point, he showed up, and then the rest is history. And we devoted now our lives to helping others wake up and live their best lives. So,
Absolutely.
I know, like being a PGI consultant, one of your main areas of expertise is awareness. How do you think awareness is important to different aspects of life?
Awareness is really important, and the more that you study yourself, the more that it grows. As we go back to, I didn't have a clue how your mind worked. It was absolutely incredible. So once you do get that visual of the stick person and your conscious, subconscious body, and how what you put out comes back to you, it's an absolute game changer, because then you think to yourself, why would I not think about what I want all day long, really, and get really focused with that? And the higher faculties, game changer, isn't it? To be able to go off into your imagination, be in the wish fulfilled, and intuition. Wow. How many times do we absolutely ignore our intuition when it comes in?
Yes. Oh, yeah, many times, many times.
So if I take myself back to when I wasn't very well, I tried to justify, oh, this is nothing, got a great big lump on my neck. It couldn't be that I'm actually disintegrating because of my thinking. When you get the awareness, you sit back and reflect on these things. And then your intuition goes, come on, you've got to go and sort yourself out. And now I have used it as such an amazing tool, because even with connecting with yourself, it was just through the Facebook, and I saw it and I was like, my intuition was like, this is the next step for you in your personal development. Go and tell your story, because you're here to help people. You love to serve. You want people to be as happy as you are, and to develop themselves, to bring out, Bob always said about the greatness in you. And it's like, yeah, there is greatness in me, and I want everyone to know about it. And to become a PGI consultant means that I can help you do it, which is even better. So my awareness is just going to continue to grow, because this journey is never going to end for me. And I'm sure it's not going to end for yourself, because once you've done one step, another step comes very quickly, and then another step comes, and that's where your faith comes in, because you can't see any of it, and the little twists and turns that come, and the people that come into your life at certain points to say something to you or show you something about yourself. If we take it back to the big personal trainer guy, Max O'Keefe, that I met in the beginning, he terrified me, but he knew what to say. You're holding yourself back, Amanda. You can do this. You've got so much potential. And I love that. I don't know if you enjoy that in yourself as well, when people say, Nina, you've got this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because people talking to you that way, it resonates so much better than you talking to yourself, because these people are outside your paradigm. They're outside your limiting beliefs. They don't see what you see as limited in yourself. They only see the potential, which is amazing. And I think awareness is crucial to all aspects of life. Awareness is both the answer and the lesson. Awareness is the lesson, because everything that happens in life, we have to gain awareness and understanding from it. Whether it is good news, bad news, a life lesson, a challenge, a career shift, a health problem, anything. The only reason this is happening is for you to gain more awareness, as a lesson, as understanding. As Solomon said, in anything you're getting, get understanding. Understanding is the solution to everything. So,
Absolutely. And once you get these tools, you can then see it in others. I don't know if you do this yourself, but I've now started seeing people as the stick person and
yeah.
being a personal trainer. When people turn up for their sessions, you know intuitively by looking at the body language, the things that they're saying. Okay, we need to adapt this session today because
Hmm.
the way you're thinking is not how I'm thinking. And I love it because then I can probe little questions. So, oh,
Yes.
what's been happening for you today? Why do you think you're feeling like this? And then your intuition comes in. Let's do some boxing today. This person needs to do some boxing and they need to talk it out. And
Hmm.
also, if we take it back to my children, I don't preach this on my children. I love to lead by example so they can look at mum and say, look at mum studying, you know, working hard, creating things and being happy and fun and, you know,
Hmm.
and everything else and creating these experiences for us. But when they have little things going on, I love children. They either get you in the car, they come and they've got you all to yourselves, or if I'm sitting down, maybe in the kitchen writing something, one of them will come and sit next to you, and you're thinking, right, this is talk time.
Hmm.
And you can sort of tell, and you can ask the probing questions like, well, what were you thinking in that moment? And for my eldest daughter at the moment, she's doing her resits because she really wants to get into sixth form to do her A levels in September. And she was like, well, I'm thinking about, I've got this English exam. Well, what grade do you want? And she said, well, I want to pass. But then that's all you think about. You just think about what you want out of this outcome.
Hmm.
And then she went to college and she got the help. The teachers turned up. They started to talk to her about how she could present this exam, which then made her feel better. And then when she went to take the action, I remember her ringing me after the exam. She's like, Mum, thanks for the pep talk in the car. The exam went really well. And it's like, well, I don't have to preach this to you, but I found a way that I can help you with it. Because they
Beautiful.
just think it's like, my mum's doing something really weird. Why is she writing out the same sentence 20, 30 times? Are you
Sounds like a
okay?
punishment.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, I'm training my mind to brilliance.
Beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love experimenting
Mhm.
this material with kids because it resonates so much easier with a kid because being a teenager or a child means that your paradigm is still developing. And if you inject the right ideas, the right beliefs in that moment, it resonates so much better and so much easier than for an adult that has already like a bunch of paradigms and limiting
Mhm.
beliefs that they've been carrying around all their lives. You mentioned that you are also a personal trainer. So how do you think that correlates with your coaching experience?
Oh, it does absolutely, especially with the self-image,
Mm-hmm.
really helps my clients because one of the things that I do in their first consultation when they come to me is I ask them, so what is your ideal body going to look like? How are you going to feel in that body? What's it going to look like? Do you have a picture of yourself
Yeah.
previously of what you look like? And they're like, yeah, you know, when I was this certain age, I looked great and things like that. So I say, we either get the picture out and focus on that, or you need to paint the picture in your mind. And sometimes they can look at you like, what do you mean? Paint a picture in my mind of myself. And that also encouraged me to become the PGI consultant because then I can bring that in to help my PT clients as well because they want the best body in the world. They want to feel
Mm-hmm.
healthy, want to feel strong because I knew I wanted that for myself in the beginning of the journey, but it became so much more than what I look like physically, if you understand. It was to bring out all the other gifts that I have and to, but yeah, definitely self-image for my clients, yeah, and making decisions, being committed, a committed decision, and consistency with your exercise to keep coming,
Beautiful.
keep doing it, you know,
Oh,
over, yeah.
I love it. And I'm very passionate about training as well. I go to the gym at least every other day. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that it's so correlated with my mental health, with my limiting beliefs. Every time I have to push it a little bit harder, that voice inside of me started talking like, you don't even have to do this. Why? Why are you even here? And I'm like, okay, this is just another challenge. And at the end of the day, I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror and say, I did my absolute best and I'm being honest with myself. And tomorrow I know I'm getting even better. I think that's the lesson I learn every time I go to the gym or every time I overcome a challenge, whatever it may be.
I
Now
mean,
that
sorry, I completely agree with that, especially in the gym. I always do that extra rep, that
yeah,
extra set because I'm in control and I'm the one, and I know it's making me more mentally stronger. So yeah, that's fantastic.
I
Really, really,
love it.
yeah, me
So
too.
with this amount of awareness and expertise that you have now learned from Bob, from Kim, from any other book that you've learned and read, what would you do differently if you could go back in time?
See, I pondered on this question about if I went back in time, what would I do? And I just feel like nothing. I don't, I try to explain that. I feel like everything happened to me at just the right time to get me to think about things, get me to move, get me to dig deep within myself, to
Mhm.
find these things, to learn to follow my heart more into actually what I want, making decisions, having faith in what I can't see, but what I believe and what I've
Mhm.
created in my mind is true. So I think if I went back, I would probably say to myself, it's going to be okay. You're in
Oh,
this
love it.
moment. You think, oh my God, my whole entire world's crumbled. Have I got a serious illness? Am I going to be okay? But I would say to myself, Amanda, you're going to enjoy this ride and it's just going to keep getting better and better. That's
Oh,
what
I
I would.
love it. I love it. Such a good message. And every time something happens, and after a while, I think to myself, this is actually was the best thing that could ever happen. Whatever the outcome may have seemed to me in the beginning, it ends up like this is actually the best solution. I've been planning and planning and planning, and the best solution was waiting for me. I didn't even know it exists, and I thought it was a bad thing at the beginning. So
Yeah.
that's such a great advice. I would say the exact same thing to myself as well. And now that you're working with clients from all over the world using this amazing material that is thinking into results, what would you think is one main piece of advice that you may give your clients to see great results when applied?
Do the work, really. Get into the program, have a fantastic mentor that's going to love you, look after you, help you, but do the work because Bob, what, 61 years of
Mhm,
studying, working on himself? How can you not believe everything he says? And everything came from the heart with him.
mhm,
And I always think to myself, he could have kept this to himself, but he chose to help every single one of us.
mhm,
And I'm honoured that he woke me up that day and I saw him kiss his hand because today I can sit here and say, I do look in the mirror and I look at Amanda and I say, I love you. I really love you for choosing you,
mhm, mhm,
and choosing me in a way that is going to help so many others. I see the difference in my children, our relationship. I mean, I'm a family person and I
mhm.
love my parents and I know that I can help them and my friends, my clients, the world. Um, I'm so grateful that it came into my life at just the right time. He's a special man. I never got to meet him in the physical, but he's always here in the spiritual, and I'm honoured with that. But, I just want to help as many people as I can as he did. He's just, the whole company's incredible. The people that work there are incredible. They're always there to help you. And yeah, I'm honoured that I took that step to do
Beautiful.
this. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So now, how can people find you and interact with you?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I've got a private Facebook group. You can email me. And that's how you can get in touch with me. AW
Beautiful.
Coaching 77 at gmail.com or AW Coaching 11. Yeah, I'm on the socials. So, yeah.
I'll make sure I'll include all your links in the description of the episode so people can reach out and connect with you easily. Do you have any final words to say for this episode?
So, thank you for having me, Nina. It's been really lovely. Um, I hope, I've helped somebody today to realize that you can do this. Just reach out, give us a call. We're ready to help you. The program is amazing. It's going to help change your life. And it's 6 months, and you're going to see a change really quickly anyway. But yeah, we're here to help you. And
We
thank you
are the
very much.
proof. We are the proof that
Yes,
this thing works.
it
Absolutely.
does work.
It
100%,
does.
100%. Just believe in yourself, and the journey is incredible, and it's ever going. You're going to start with one goal, it's going to get bigger and bigger, and you're going to get better and better. Yeah.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Thank you so much, Amanda, for being such a good guest. I look forward to talking to you again. Thank you to all our listeners, and we'll see you again in the next episode of the Success Catalyst.